Good morning, everybody. I hope I'm not too late. Just grabbing a cord. I was quickly trying to set up my store on YouTube, and it took up a lot of my time because I made a few mistakes. Let me just plug this in. I hope you can hear me. If so, let me know. Yep, appears as though. Let me get my sound. And I got everything loud, so hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. If not, just let me know. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'll take the sound. Actually, yeah, it's working right now. Let's get closer. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. And let's see what the mic's showing here. Okay. I am failing miserably this morning. That's okay. I'm just going to put this together. There we go. All right. So welcome everybody to my live today. Today we're going to just I'm putting together a document binder for my sister. Let me show you real quickly the hows and whys I'm doing it. So basically what happened was I lost my brother-in-law a little over a month ago. And it was a sudden event, unfortunately. So what happened next was she realized that she didn't have access to a lot of the documents in the house, scrambling, trying to find, literally at many times didn't find documents at all. And it was a very difficult transition for her. So what I decided to do is to help her, and I'm going to put a document binder together for you, a bug out binder. I'm just going to go through all the specs and literally put the thing together. So in this little tutorial today, we're going to go over my favorite picks for the document binder. This is actually my favorite pick, is the 5-star brand. I'm a big fan of the 5-star. And this is a 2-inch binder. I like this because it has a handle and it has a zipper and it has an accordion file already embedded inside right here, which is cool. But it has very thick 2-inch rings here. These are 2-inch rings. That's the dimension of the ring. It has also a hard backing here, so it maintains its structure. And it also has the same here. So you could do things like set it up against something and it doesn't flop over. But, and it won't like break on you and get, flimsy. And this is a very good brand. I have 2 of these. I've had one now for about 12 years, maybe longer. Let's see, I bought it in 2010, so we're looking at 15 years. And I bought this in 2021. So this is kind of like the newer version of it. And I think this is nice. It's waterproof, by the way. It has a side pocket here. And it doesn't have a pocket to put things in, but that's okay. This is her starter kit. So the way I do it is I created, and you can visit my store, I created categories. I have 10 categories. And I'm going to separate and just put these into the binder. It's a lot easier than you think. But if you want to grab these categories, I have it in my store. You can check it out. I have a bank statement category, a category for tax information, income tax. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me if you're watching, guys. I have a section for certificates, medical, etc. I have a section for utilities. I have 10 sections that you could grab in my store. I have one for all the bills like home mortgage, association fees, escrow, title deeds, things like that. Okay. And vet records, very important. If you have a pet, keep your vet records together. And automobile information, insurance, your maintenance records, and any warranties you might have, your registration information, etc., gas and fuel card if you have one, things like that. So I'm going to set up these categories for her, and I'm going to put it in the binder, and I'm going to give it to her and let her organize her documents as she sees fit. Another way that I use is I use sleeve protectors. I have a few. So I'm just simply going to put the sleeve protectors in, use them to fill up. And I think I'm going to give her one of these as well, these pouches. You know, so you want to put a pair of scissors or a pen in there, keep it all together. So let me grab these. And we can go ahead and just get started. So how have you all been today? If you're joining me, thank you and welcome to my live. My name is Lisa Wright. To be honest with you, I am a midlifer who's gone digital, basically taking my life online, sharing my entire life with everybody, my stories. And the truth is that I have this knack about being what is called a digital prepper. Oftentimes I'll see a problem and I'll try to find a solution. And many times it's through organizing documents or being prepared for digital experiences. About a week ago, we had to buy a vehicle. And in the process of buying this vehicle, there was a lot of paperwork that was required that we really weren't too familiar with in the past because a lot's changed. Everything is digital now. And as we were going along, we had to come up quickly with things like our bank statements, and so everything I started grabbing online, going into my bank account, grabbing the bank statements. And then we had to come up with a mortgage verification letter. That's what the underwriter wanted to see. So we had to come up, I'm sorry if I'm out of screen. We had to come up with one of those. And I had to contact the lending institution that we bank with and get that done. And that meant that I had to go home and do it. So I started writing down all these things that were needed. And I created a car buyer's checklist at the end of all of this event and thought that it would be nice to offer that to the viewers. So if you guys want to check it out, you can go into my little shop and you could buy that car buyer's checklist. And it gives you, I was just going down the list of what's needed. And in the process, it'll make the car buying process a lot more easy and more smooth, to help you get through that process quickly. And I can't believe I experienced everything digital. Before you used to have to sign paper and the printer would print out all this paperwork. And that didn't happen like this. It was get the pad out. Let me grab your digital signature, and then we'll just point and click on the pad, and then we'll email you the contract after all said and done. So it's all digital. So it's things to be prepared for and make sure that you know what's going on, And so, yeah, so that's what I am. I've just discovered that about myself recently, is that I'm just simply a digital prepper. I like to organize my home documents, my money that way. I can show you another thing that I do, which is I save money, in pockets. Instead of using envelopes, I use a binder, just like I have here. And I put money in a binder. And I save my money that way. And I click over time, each week at a time, and put some money aside. Sorry for getting out of frame here, but I'm almost done. I am almost done. Done. And there's a lot of things that I do digitally, but also manually. And I'll prepare documents. My monthly budget, I write my budget down manually. I learned that from Dave Ramsey. And I write it down every month. I put it in my binder. And lo and behold, I know what everything that's going in, everything that's coming out. I think I have a few more pages. Yeah, I only have 2 more. And then when I go visit her tomorrow, I'll give this to her. And basically what it'll be next is I'll help her put her documents and gather everything up and see where everything needs to go in the binder, And that when she's keeping all her paperwork in order, she has a nice little handy dandy binder she can carry around the house, put into a safe place, and know where it is. And if anything happens to her or a family member needs something, they know where to go to grab the binder and get the information quickly. And, I'm just, like I said, I'm a document prepper. One time my mom had an accident here at home. She fell down. And we called the emergency room. We had to call an ambulance. But when the ambulance EMT came, look at that. This is done. So she has a pet. She's got 2 dogs. She has a home mortgage that she's had transferred in her name solely since Greg passed. Her utilities, internet, policy information, medical, any certificates, a death certificate, birth certificate, marriage, etc., passport, social security information, tax information, because I know that she has a tax report coming up soon, and any bank statements. And I'm also going to help her with her 401k and life insurance policies. Okay. So, and then what we do is I'm going to give her also, I have all these things. I'm going to give her this pouch so that she knows she can write things down and have paper and pencil by her side as needed. I'll empty this out. And also, like in my car, I have one of these pouches in my car. And in this pouch, I keep my insurance and my updated insurance policy, but also my ID, but also my car registration. It's a very simple pouch. It's see-through. If I get pulled over, I just take the pouch out, wait for the officer, and I'm ready with all my paperwork, And I could show him, look, I'm reaching in to grab my paperwork right here, and it's thin and non-threatening. So, but I'm going to give that to her. Hey, Cindy, I just made, good morning. I came by before I start to get ready for the day. No worries. I put your document binder together right here. So I'm going to show up tomorrow, and I got a little pouch for you. I have, what else do I have? This. All right, so here it is. It's a 5-star binder. It's waterproof. It has a handle, and it has a zipper so that you can zip it up. Just be careful with the zipper. It doesn't snag, but I noticed that this particular zipper is weird. It likes to be straight before you zip it up. There you go. You just have to push it in like that. It's waterproof. It has a side pocket. It has the red. You can put it underneath the bed or in the closet, keep it, or just have it at a place where everybody knows where it is. I'm going to add some sheet protectors in there. I just open it. It has a side accordion right here. It has, then I filled it, and each piece has a sheet protector. So this is your car information, any vet records you may have. Here, let me sit up for a second. There we go. Vet records, home information, household, stuff like that, title deed, all your utilities, and then you can just put them in any order you want. Okay. And your medical information, screenings, etc. Birth certificate, passports, social security information. You build it as you go, all of your income tax. And then checking, savings, Roth IRA. This isn't in any particular order. Just set it up in any order that you want, what's most important to you. Okay. Also a pouch here for pencils, pens, maybe a little scissors, whatever you need. And then I'm going to add a little notebook. And in that notebook, you can write your monthly bank schedule, like your bills and stuff. Write it down like I do if you want. And then that'll help you keep track of all that stuff. And then as the bills come in, you can put the bills in your binder and just mark them off as you pay and you go. Okay. And this thing is ready. So I'll just show up tomorrow and hand it to you. And do with what you will with it, I originally used my document binder as a coupon binder. And I would keep all my coupons. And I had this little magnifying glass, and every Sunday I would fill my coupon binder. I had everything categorized. And I would go through, and anything that was expired, coupons that were expired, I would take them out and discard them. But it's so sad because really, like the coupon industry, the clip coupons, there's not a lot of people that do that anymore. I enjoyed it when I did it. Here you go. All set. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that type of thing. But yeah, people just don't do stuff like that anymore. And it said, ooh, I think I found some money. Hang on. Yep, $20, baby. $20 I found in a pouch. That makes me happy. So that I'm going to save. And then I also, like I said, I find that I'm a prepper, a document prepper, and I like to be proactive and stay organized. So, getting back to mom falling down, when the ambulance came, they and I'm going to actually create a document for this. When the ambulance came, the EMT came in the house, they wanted to know what type of medication mom was on. So, I didn't have it written down. Instead, I went and I reached for the box. And I'll show you what I have here. A red top box. I think I got this at Target or something. And I grabbed the box, I brought it over to them, I put it in front of them, and they had to flip through and find all the medications. Truth be told, if I was better at being organized with that in the future, and I'm going to create one actually and put it in my store, it's going to be a emergency summary for the EMT, a list of all the medications, who her primary doctor is, and where her hospital is. And that should be done for all of us too, so that if there's an emergency, you can go to the document binder, medical section, and in that will be emergency summary, and that way you just take the piece of paper, you take it with you. Any allergies, a list of medications, like I said, primary doctor, who your carrier is, who your, if you're Kaiser, Health Net, etc. And maybe what hospital you would prefer to go to, nearby. Because, and I know that the EMTs decide where to go, but that's an option. So I'm going to put something like that together. What do you guys think? You think that'll work? And you can go into the store and just grab the template. So now I'm starting to make a little collection of things to buy and ways to make your life easier, so that you're better prepared and better organized. So yeah, I've realized that I'm a document prepper, and that's my forte. So I'm just going to keep going here and organize. Look at this. I found money. I'm so excited. Man, to find money and keep your life organized. I found money last time I went through this binder with you guys, and now I found money again. So, and I talk about stuff like that, how if you organize all your paperwork, there's things that you do that you don't really notice, like the story about my husband where he was paying out of pocket for his medications. Exactly. Yes, Cindy, found money. Like the documents, like he was paying for his medications, but he doesn't have to, because we have an HSA and my employer puts money into the HSA every year. And when they do that, he can use that money to pay for his prescriptions. So he had months and months and months of prescription medications he was paying out of pocket. $18, anywhere from $18 to $20 a shot. So there was like $300 that was just out there. And I said, well, I sent all the receipts to the HSA, and the HSA reimbursed us and put the money back. And I said, all you have to do is just send the receipt to them and they'll reimburse your account, right? Pull it right out of the HSA. And that was found money. Another thing is opening up the letters. Every time something comes in, I open it up and I look at it. Number one, one day there was a class action lawsuit, and they awarded a check based on the results of the class action lawsuit. You don't know these things are coming. And it was like a $90 check. My mom had one that was like $190. And I'm like, see, you open up your mail, you look, you read, you look and see what the information is, and you discover, oh, I just found some money. Um, Another one is if you organize your property taxes report and your escrow account in your mortgage. You'll know if you're overpaying or underpaying and what you may have to come up with at the end of the year, and if you're on track. So I keep an eye on that. I organize the documents for the home mortgage. Now I completely cleaned out my document binder, and I'm going to start fresh and new. And I'm going to come back again on another live, and we're going to go through it as I'm going to discard things that probably have been in there for a while and that we don't have anymore. And I'm just going to get rid of all of that. And August they're having a shredding event here in the city that I live in, locally. So I'm going to go to the shredding event and have them shred the documents that I've been holding on to, so I don't have to pay. It's free. And they'll shred all the documents right in front of you. So you can see that going through the shredder. And that's the way you go about finding those shredding and recycling, electronic waste recycling events, is you go into your city utility website. Like if I live in Long Beach, so I go into Long Beach Utility, and they'll tell you where these events are occurring, whether it be shredding, computers, PCs, handheld devices, maybe electronic phones, watches, and things, and you want to get rid of that you keep holding on to because you don't know exactly what to do with it. They have monthly events that you can go to, or quarterly, and then you can discard all of that for free. So that makes that great too. Another thing is that I know where our recycle center here is in Long Beach, and I know where the dump is. And we've had to stand in line and dump stuff. You pay a little fee for city dump, but you stand in line, and then they weigh your vehicle, and they ask you what you have, and there's a certain fee for um, regular trash, but also like leaf cuttings and things like that. There's a different fee. So if you want to get rid of that stuff and don't want to pay to have it hauled go away, you have to go and do it yourself. So we know where the local dump is, and what we need to do. We'll stand in line with all other commercial vehicles and dump vehicles and get all that done. I also know where the recycle center is. Now, I know a lot of people who collect cans and things like that. I don't hoard cans and bottles, but I do have a lot of neighbors that do, and they go and they pay for goods and services a lot by all the cans that they collect. And I will hold on to the cans and then give them each week a bag. My bank offers once a year, month March, on Saturday, shredding for free. See, the bank that belongs to, Cindy belongs to, offers free shredding. That's fantastic. So that may be an option. I might want to look at that too, to see if maybe Target, the store that I work for, and the city there offers a free shredding event, or maybe a Goodwill, or like I said, your local utility company. And so this is like all kinds of stuff that you can share with other people and give information away, and just to make their lives a lot more easier. So, Cindy, I hope you enjoyed last night's live. I know it went pretty late. It was a 4.5-hour live last night. That was crazy. And now this document binder that I'm giving Cindy is a Mead. The company is Mead, and the brand under Mead is called 5-Star. And it's my favorite brand in any office supplies. 5-Star folders. Yeah, you did have fun. Good, I'm glad. And then we'll have to I'll send you, well, you have my schedule for next week. So let me know if you want to go live next week. We go live. Sister and I go live. We have to set it up every week, but based on our schedule, our work schedules, we try to match things up and see what's a good time. Some of Cindy's followers said to go at 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. I'll leave that up to her and what she wants to do. But yeah, we went live last night and did a chit chat. And then we had a guest on, Mind Games. He's a creator also here on YouTube. So you can check out his channel. And then we had other people messaging within the, with the chat for that day. This is 5-star, and this is going to be a very handy and actually something you can hand down to the next family member. I like this because it has a pouch in the back right here. So if you want to put a file in there, you're probably going to see your tax accountant. You just put all the paperwork there and you just keep it together. So that's it, guys. I think I did good. I went for 30 minutes today, and I look forward on creating new and different things with you. So I'm Lisa Wright, and I am a digital prepper. I have a couple items that are in my store. Check it out. And if you want more, or if you need help with something, please feel free to ask, and maybe even give me some advice on what you might be looking for the future, and I'll put something together for you and put it in my store. Great. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again, and you guys have a great day. Thanks for chiming in, Cindy. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.